civilization endured another Islamic act of war yesterday, this time in London, England. According to eyewitnesses, an SUV jumped a curb and mowed down pedestrians on Westminster Bridge, leaving a dozen or so bodies in its wake. Several people were reported to have jumped off the bridge into the Thames River to avoid being hit. The driver then turned onto Parliament Square, rammed into the fence surrounding Westminster Palace, exited the vehicle, and tried to gain access to Parliament with a 9-inch knife. Police finally shot 41-year-old Abu Izzadeen and ended the Islamic attack. Izzadeen was brought to a local hospital by helicopter, but died from his injuries. At least 4 people, including a police officer and the Islamic militant, were killed in the act of war. Another 20 were injured, including 3 police officers. President Donald Trump was briefed on the incident and spoke with British Prime Minister Theresa May, who was less than 40 yards from the attack. Parliament was in session and immediately put on lockdown. Izzadeen was a well-known Islamic militant who had been arrested several times and convicted of crimes associated with supporting and funding Islamic violence. He even served several years in prison for it. The Islamic State is cheering the attack. They say it's blood for blood in retaliation for Great Britain's involvement in the US-led fight against ISIS. Folks, this attack is a huge deal. Europe has had its share of Islamic violence in places like Brussels, Paris, and Berlin, just to name a few. This Islamic act of war didn't just occur in London. It was right outside the Parliament building, the center of power in the heart of England. In America, we've had Islamic violence in places like New York City, San Bernardino, Chattanooga, Orlando, and yes, even Washington, D.C. The Pentagon was hit on 9/11, but imagine a stabbing or shooting spree at the Capitol, with U.S. representatives and senators present. This wasn't just an attack on Western society or culture. This was an act of war against Western power. Leftists are content to bury their heads in the sand when confronted with the Islamic threat. What's it going to take, folks?
Thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe and donate at theraywarnershow.com.